thought it might be useful just to give you a few pointers on accessing legal stuff. I showed you before about how to access a particular legal case. There's a bit more legal searching that that you can do as well. So what I've got here is I've got the university homepage, so you can just go into the library site. And the best way in is to go through to the subject guides and here into the law subject guide. Now there's a whole heap of stuff around here, and some of it's useful, some of it's not so useful. There's a link there to legislation, which I'll explain a little bit later. That's a public source one. There are kind of two big databases for cases and so on, and legal data. There's LexisNexis, and there's this one here, and there's Westlaw. So pays to just kind of, I suppose, they cover most of the same stuff. Sometimes if it's something obscure, you might want to look in one that one might have it and the other one mightn't. But they've basically mostly got pretty much everything you want. So this is getting into the Westlaw site here. It'll prompt you for your library sign-in to get into here. And you see on the left you've got a range of different possibilities here. Here you've got different branches of law, so you can kind of look within those. You can use this one if you just click on cases here to look up actual cases. Now every case, as you'll see in your references, has got a citation. So if I might just use that Linfield High one, which is NZCA 325, I've done it before. So you put that citation on there and search, and there we are, we've got the case. So this is this Court of Appeal case, it's Linfield High. There's only one result, so I don't know what it says, 3 documents. Chosen all because it's these things anyway. Okay, so if we go into here, just click on the case, and we go into briefcase. Then you've got up there, you've got a PDF, downloadable PDF of the actual case. And these tabs up here give you various options. So if you want to just read the judgment online, then you just click on this one, and that judgment will come up down below, and you can just kind of read through it there. Introduction, all the points about it, all in their numbered paragraphs. But interestingly, there are other things as well. So if you go into cited documents here, then this gives you a list of all the documents that are cited in the context of this case as well. So down here you have the cases that are cited, and if there's not many in this case, but there could be lots, and you can sort them by title, court, or year, and then they're all clickable through. If you click on that, you'll go through to that particular case, and then it also has legislation that's considered as well. Related documents, sometimes in here you will also have journal articles, if there are any. There weren't any in this one, but there could be cases, legislation, journal articles, and commentary, so you can find a bit more with that too. And then in cite case over here, we have the earlier cases. So this one, this case here upheld this one, which was this is the link to the High Court case. What we're looking at is a Court of Appeal against this one, and then you can see the other cases where they've applied this judgment, or where they've considered this judgment, or where other judgments in turn have referred to this. So this case here referred back to the case that we're looking at now. Okay, so that's the case options in here. Just go back to this Westlaw homepage again. Journals. So you go into here and you can enter text here. You might, for example, want to go education and I've got one up there, judicial review and education in inverted commas. So you go in there, the search is journal articles for not just judicial and review and education, but for judicial review and education. There's 194 there. And you know, we're already into Australian ones and the two Australian ones, university stuff, New Zealand university stuff, more Australian stuff, Australian Parliament stuff. So you know, you might want to then go back and refine your search. So maybe put Zealand, in there to cut it back a bit more. So what does that do? That reduces us from 194 to 110. But it's still got those Australian ones, so anything that mentions New Zealand, it narrows it down a little bit. But anyway, so that's a good way to search through those lots of those legal journals for those particular things that you're looking for. And the other one on the side that would be useful here, it's not getting me all the way back to it, is legislation and commentary. So in legislation and commentary, here you can look for, say, the Education Act. What'll happen is see the little things spinning around there, and then you can't just write free text in here. You've got to write stuff that prompts it to think, and then you can hook into there, or you can look at the Amendment Acts or whatever. So going into there, you can see the legislation. You can see it in a bit more easy, accessible form than you normally see on the free site, and that kind of breaks it up there. So if you go into the Education Act, see down below, it's got just the little bits and pieces of it, or you can go into the whole thing here. So this has got this is the full Education Act, massive document. We've got cited date documents that are in it, any documents that are cited in it, related documents. I'm surprised there aren't journal articles directly referring to it. Yes, there are. There's thousands of them. So there's journal articles that are referring to the Education Act. Again, probably. Well, there's that the one that I gave you, Judicial Review of School Discipline, the one that from John Caldwell. But you can see there's all sorts of stuff in there. So that's just a way through this Westlaw thing. So just kind of follow your nose and find your way through on that. The other thing I would just say is, if we just go back to the library homepage, that do make use of this here, this Ask Live stuff. If you click on that, and I won't now because I won't kind of hassle them, but I'll just a little bit. So here we go. So Ask Live. So you can chat in here. You press stuff there and enter, and somebody will always come up, and you can ask them stuff. So if there's anything in particular, or even anything in general you're looking for, go in here. Business hours, there's always somebody there, and sometimes after hours as well. And the librarians are absolutely amazing people, really helpful. There's often law librarians on there too who are really good. Okay, so that's the sort of looking through that Westlaw portal through the law subject page, which is a useful one to use. You can find all sorts of stuff there. I've also got on here and I'll post this document for you, a few other links too. So these are open source links, because the thing about Westlaw is the moment you're no longer at the university, you can't use it. So you might also want to make use of these. So this is the legislation.gov.nz. I hope you've seen this. This is one you can make good use of. Education Amendment Bill number 2. There's the document there. Any bills or acts you can call up and print off, and that's all available online for free. You can restrict it if you want, but all of that legislation there is in that legislation.gov.nz site, all laws. This is a much more extensive database and is also free and open access. This is the Legal Information Institute. This you don't need to have a library sign-in for. If you go into here, 95 databases of New Zealand law. And what we've got here is, if you go into, say, Court of Appeal decisions from 1970 or High Court or whatever, and court martials if you're interested in, and then they've got, heading years from all the way along here. So if we just go into, say, 2012, there's a whole list of all of these reported High Court decisions on any number of things. So if you do have a something that you want to search, you can search the database here as well. Then you can search for a document, and they've got a lot of it there. So we'll just get back into this data. So that's all the case law. This again is links to legislation, and these ones here are links to journals. These are Law Commission reports. They're quite helpful as well. So you can go to the New Zealand Law, or say Canterbury Law Review, and you can get full access to pretty much everything that's on there as well. There's full text to all of that stuff. So that's a pretty good, another good free open source for educational law material when you are no longer enrolled at Canterbury. Parliament also has a lot. This is the Parliament website, and there's lots in here. Links into here through to legislation, order papers, all of this stuff. Though I've got some more direct links in here too. This one goes through into all the legislation, including the bills. Come on, crank it up. Take me there. There we go. So they're all listed, from A to Z. This first page of them, A to C, has got 366 out of 1600. If we wanted to look at the education ones, for example, we go to D to E, and we can just have a little scroll down and see we've got Education Amendment Bill. There's all of these different Education Amendment Bills or Education Acts or whatever. This looks like the most recent one, so we go into this one, for example. See, it's got the date over there. Go into this Education Amendment Bill, and that says what it's about, right? So this is the one that proposes amendments to the Education Act relating to the professional regulation of the education profession. This is changes to the Teachers' Council, the regulatory framework for teaching, tertiary education institutions, governance and quality assurances, international students, da-de-da. So that's what that is, and then you can dig into all of those details in here. So that's a really useful source of stuff, which again is all free, and you can search for them all here by what kind of bill, by the how recent it was there. This here is also by years, and this is for current or not current. So that's a really helpful one as well. There's a link here from it to Hansard and journals, but this one here takes you straight there as well. Hansard, I'm just giving you that direct one there. So Hansard is the record of everything that's discussed in Parliament. And when laws are passed, the courts are trying to interpret what the laws are intending. And if there's any sort of vagueness or ambiguity, you might often look to the discussions in Parliament as reasons for interpreting an expression or an intent in one way as opposed to another. So this here is a list of access to all of these parliamentary debates. Or the latest ones is when Parliament rose for the current session at the end of July. So all of these ones here you can put in a search, and that'll bring up should narrow the search here into these education debates. Oh, no, it's not doing that. Let's just go for narrowing this down a little bit. So this is questions for ministers and so on. Go into those, and there you have all of this stuff. So all of the parliamentary discussions are all available, all recorded, all online through here, and that's a useful bit of data as well. And that, as I say, I'll put these links up. That's all open source stuff that you can get whether or not you're enrolled in the university.